In this video, we're going to use the for loop to keep a running total. Many programs require you to calculate the total of a series of numbers. For example, you may just ask the user to enter 5 of their favorite numbers, and you can return a total. In this program, we're going to ask the user to enter total sales for a certain amount of days. The program is going to read the sales for each day as input and then calculate the total of those numbers. So programs that calculate the total of a series of numbers typically use two parts. First part is a loop that is going to read each number in the series. And the second part is a variable that's going to accumulate the total of the numbers as they're read. The variable used to accumulate the total of the numbers is called the accumulator. It's often said that the loop keeps a running total because it accumulates the total as it reads each number. So when the loop finishes, the accumulator will contain the total of the numbers that were read by the loop. Starting at the top, we have the J option pane. You could also use scanner if you feel like it. We have decimal format in order to format our output. The name of our class is total sales. Notice how the T in total is capital. Make sure you have that as capital. Inside main, we have a series of variables. We have days, sales, total sales, which is the accumulator, and input, which is going to temporarily hold the user's input. So we're creating a decimal format object in order to format our output. The object is going to be called $. And notice the formatting specifier on the right. 2 decimal places, and also going to try to use a comma if needed. Using a show input dialog to ask for sales figures, collecting input from the user, getting down to setting the accumulator to 0. So I'm going to keep a running total. I need to have a place to start. So total sales is going to be set to 0. And here is where the action is going to happen. This is the for loop, so we're going to get the sales figures and calculate the running total. So let's take a closer look at the for loop. We have the initialization, so count is equal to 1. My testing condition, count is less than or equal to days. And our increment, count plus plus, is going to increase by 1 every time through the loop. So we're going to ask the user to enter sales for that specific day. And notice how I'm using count inside my prompt. So when I see this dialog box, it's going to say enter the sales for day 1, enter the sales for day 2, enter sales for day 3. And it's going to keep going, and it's going to show those days right there because of that. Collect the input, and right there, this is keeping the running total. Okay, we have an augmented assignment operator in use as well. Down at the bottom, this is where the formatting is happening. So the name of my object, remember from the top of the program, was $. I'm using the format method, and I'm going to format total sales and exiting the program. Okay, let's take a look at the output. So here's my dialog box. Notice we have exactly what we wanted. For how many days do you have sales figures? Let's just put a small number in. We'll do 5. Hit OK. Enter sales for day 1. Okay, so now we're inside the loop. Enter sales for day 1. Notice how it says day 1. I'm just going to do some simple numbers. 2. Enter the sales for day 2. Again, using the count variable inside my prompt. We'll go 2 again, and we'll just keep doing this, 2, and 2, and 2. Now before I press OK this time, keep in mind that every time through a loop, I've been keeping a running total. So every time I add a 2, it's going to be added to total sales. So I could probably guess what my total is going to be, but let's go ahead and press OK. And there's my total, so bring that down the bottom. So the total sales are, and notice how it is formatted with my $sign, 2 decimal places, and I didn't get a large enough value this time through to use the comma. I'm going to run this one more time and see if that works as well. So I definitely know my math works. Let's run this one more time. So again, starting from the top, how many days do I have sales figures? Let's go 5 one more time. And this time I'm going to put some larger numbers in. So let's do 12,000, 1,000. We'll do 4. We'll throw even some different numbers in because we know the math is working. It works with small numbers. And we'll put that in. Okay, so again, formatting. The total sales are, there's my $sign, and the use of the comma did work. And there's my 2 decimal places. So if you want to use the comma and the 2 decimal places, remember you want to use decimal format, and you're going to set that up at the top of the program when you go ahead and create your object. So that output was actually created right here with my formatting specifier. So my comma, 2 decimal places. Okay, so that is the total sales program using a for loop to keep a running total in Java. Until next time.